Gentlemen, ladies, Sandamtod here. Gonna do the Sega Master System video. You don't want to know how many times I've shot it already, so if I have a little annoyance in my voice, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try not to be annoyed. The cat interrupted it last time. I was like 10 minutes in. The first time I was recording it, the camera just decided to quit working at 26 minutes in, even though it had plenty of room for filming. And the battery is full. It just quit filming at like 26 minutes. I don't know why. So we're shooting this one this time with two cams. And for the third freaking time. Okay, here we go again. Again for the first time for you all. Power base converter on the Genesis and Sega CD Model 1 is where I keep it up on the shelf usually. The power base converter is a nice little peripheral that just it snaps on to the top of the Model 1 Genesis. You have to have a Model 1 for the power base converter, but it's got this little door that lifts up. You can play and plug your Master System games in here or the card games, and it just pushes down on there. It should have a little screw thing that attaches here, but mine didn't have it on there. I think I got the power base converter at vintage stock for $10 or $12 back in the day. And I was going to say that it's a nice cheap alternative if you want to go Sega Master System, but it might be cheaper to find a Master System on eBay than to find a power base converter and a Jenny Model 1 and everything else. So you don't need the Sega CD Model 1, believe me, on there. But you have to have a Genesis Model 1 for it to fit, for the base converter to fit. And then we're going to do these card games first, since we talked about the card slot and the other thing on there. I have three card games. I have F-16 Fighting Falcon, which looks like Top Gun on the back. It is complete except for the little plastic cover that the cards slide into. I actually have two copies of F-16 Fighting Falcon. I don't see the other one offhand, but I know I do. There it is. Neither one of them have the little cover on there, but I do have an extra. I do have some doubles of Master System games. If anybody's looking for Master System games, I'll tell you what I have doubles of and whether they're complete or not. If you want to get in touch with me about it, that's cool. I might be in the market to... There's something in my mouth. Like cat hair or something. Ugh. Anyway. F-16 Fighting Falcon. I think there's a total of like 44 games or something from what I remember the first time I filmed it. So I'm not going to count them this time. The second one, I got this at vintage stock for sure. That's Super Tennis. I know I bought this one because it's the very first card game I found. And it does have the little plastic cover for it. And then the third one I have, and this is the last one I have, is I believe they released this game on Nintendo, but it was in the cartridge form. But Sega Mad TV Spy vs. Spy. And that artwork's pretty cool on there. And it plays pretty much like the Nintendo one did. If you've played that one card, and it has a little cover on it. And my back itches, so I'm going to scratch it. But anyway, when I was looking in those cards, I found this little catalog. Now, most of the instruction books, I'm not showing them because they are complete, but it's just either blue or black text and blue pictures. I mean, they either use reflex blue or black for all the coloring inside. But for some reason, this little game catalog is in color, and it's from 1986. Now there are no limits, it says. But the first thing it talks about in the book is the card games. I don't have Transbot. I think I saw the Transbot, just the card, one time at a thrift store and didn't want to buy it because they wanted like $5 for it or something. It was just a little card and I didn't buy it. Now I kind of wish I had it. Then we have F-16 Fighting Falcon, which I showed you, and then this game called My Hero, which I don't know. It kind of looks like a side scroller, beat 'em up of some kind. And then here's two more we don't have: Ghost House and Teddy Boy. Good old Teddy Boy. Oh boy. Oh, Teddy Boy. And Transbot. So there's four games there that I don't have. They don't have Spy vs. Spy or Tennis listed in here for some reason. And then they have some other games listed here. But it is in color, which is nice because most of the instruction books, like I said, are just black and white or all blue. Here's a couple of games we have that don't have the normal standard kind of case art you normally see. So I bought one of them at Duder's booth. We talked about Duder in the last one, but this one I evidently got at vintage stock because it still had a sticker on it when I showed it in the last video. I took it off though. Cyborg Hunter. Both of these are Activision games. And the case art is black on this one. For some reason, the windows really aren't very square in the center of the back panel. It's like it's shifted over. The other one's that way too. It's just the way they printed them. They didn't center it very well. Sorry, I work for printing, so I know I know about crap like that. Complete label looks nice. And I'm not real sure what this game is about. It kind of just looks like the year is 2242. You are the toughest bounty hunter in the galaxy. There we go. The next one, this is the one I think I bought initially before I even bought that one. And it was the first time I'd ever seen any case art of a different color. And I got this from Duder. And that would be Rampage. 2 mega power it has. And in this one's 2-player simultaneous, which is cool. Activision title, like I said. The case is red. It is complete, and it does have a reg card for the game. Those are the two that I had where the case art is not just your standard white with gray grid kind of deal. We'll go ahead and show this one because this one also came out of Duder's booth. I think I paid around 20 something for this. I know I paid at least 20, maybe even closer to 25. But it's really kind of rare, and it was complete. If it wasn't complete, I probably wouldn't have paid that. They made this for the Genesis, but this was the only time I ever saw it for the Sega Master System. I know they had a few titles like that, like Sonic the Hedgehog, that was on Master System. That would be a killer to get that. I don't have that one. But we have Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse for the Master System. And like I said, I mean, it's in good shape. The instruction book is in really good shape, and the cart. This one was just, like I said, I'd never seen it anywhere, and to even see it, I was just like, it was almost like an immediate impulse, gotta get that kind of deal. Actually, I think I went back to that guy's booth like a couple different times and finally bought it. I think I passed it by a couple times because of the price, and finally I was just like, well, I want it, I get it. Here's a eBay purchase, a great game for the system, but it's missing the instructions. The guy told me when I ordered it that it was complete, but when I got it, it had a map for a sequel to this game in it. The game is Phantasy Star, and I have all 4 Phantasy Stars on the Genesis, and then I have this one on the Master System, and then the other 3 on the Genesis. And I think I even have the online game on the Dreamcast. Phantasy Star. It's missing the directions, and the reason why that is the guy said it was complete, but when I looked at it, it was a map for Phantasy Star 2. Well, it turns out my Phantasy Star 2 I didn't have directions or the map for. It was just case and cart, so I put it in there. So now I need to get directions for both of those games. But Phantasy Star, let's see here. I don't really know at this point. I'm trying to remember what's what here. I'm going to stop trying to remember where I got these, except one of them I do know where it came from exactly, and these 4 I do. Otherwise, I'm just not, I don't remember where I came by them or how much they were. But these 4 I got at the thrift store, the family store. We used to go to the family store quite a bit. I hope the video's still taping. I can't tell. And I don't know. I guess we'll find out. The first one, these I think were around $3 or $4 a piece, and I remember they had like a dozen of them in their case. Sega Master System games that were complete. I took the ones that either I had never seen that I knew were a little more sought after, or ones that seemed like they might take a little more time to complete and be more fun to get into. So the first 4 I bought, one of them's just a shooting game, because I kind of got on a kick where I was buying shooting games because I had the gun. And I wanted to get, a little bit of a selection. And, I'm thinking about doing a shooting game series, like a gun game kind of retrospective over a bunch of different systems, but do it into different videos based on the system. But do a Master System, gun game, and then do a Nintendo NES. But then I also have Genesis, Sega CD, and the 3DO, and the PlayStation 2. I have guns and games for all those systems. So we may end up doing some gun game series eventually. But anyway, I never even showed this. The game is called Wanted. It kind of looks like a not really even Wild Gunman. It looks more like Sunset Riders, that game for the Genesis. Kind of the way stuff's laid out and stuff, but it's Old Westy. Complete. The label's got a little bit of a scratch on it, but no diggy. And like I said, what ended up happening was I bought like 4 games from him, went back a few days later when I had a little more money. All the rest of them were gone. So it's just the way of it. I should have bought them at the moment and ate off the dollar menu, but I didn't. And, well, since I don't remember what games were there, it really doesn't matter at this point. But these are the other 3 that I picked up. They all say action or adventure role-playing on them. The first one is this game called Lord of the Sword. It says it's adventure role-playing. There's a lot of these little stickers on some of these, too, that say Sega for the 90s, the new generation. Complete. The label on the cart is not awesome, but I had never seen this game before, so I went ahead and picked it up. The next one is called Spellcaster. I'm not real sure about this one either. It's got a password save on it. This one, Lord of the Sword, doesn't say it's got any kind of save, battery save. Fantasy Star does have a battery. But Spellcaster, I don't really know how to explain. It just kind of looks like, I don't know. Almost looks like Shining in the Darkness or something, if you've ever played that. Complete. Kind of like some side-scrolling stuff, but also like some that first-person kind of stuff. That might be these shops or whatever. I don't know. And then this one here is the 4th one. I know I got it at the family store with the other ones. I was recently watching, kind of watching some old videos of Bithead 1000s, and he had done this one called Thrifting with Pedro, where he had went to some different stores, and the whole time he's talking and narrating the footage of him out and about. I'm laughing my ass off. He's just hilarious. I mean, if you don't know Bithead, you probably don't really follow gaming that well. But if you do know him, go to his channel, Bithead 1000. Check him out. He is just one of the funniest and greatest dudes I've ever seen. And anyway, he had picked up Miracle Warriors in that video, but he said was complete and had a map in it. I don't know. I don't recall him showing the inside. But mine doesn't have a map. It just has the instructions in the game. So I don't know if there was a map for this. I'm going off Bithead, so I would assume that it did, because he said his had one in it. So I'm probably missing the map. Let's see. We got Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap here. Most of them are complete, but this one is also missing directions. So I don't know where I got it, but, you know. Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy and Alex Kidd were both kind of Sega property. No, I don't know if they were properties, but they were Sega kind of, not mascots, but they're kind of like the Mario-ish games. This one's called Wonder Boy in Monsterland. Complete with one of these posters. These posters are in like over half of these things, and it's all the same poster. It's kind of like your Nintendo poster with a little game window saying, hey, this game, this game, this game. And then on the back, it's got like Space Harrier or something. Let's see. We'll move on. Artwork on this one looks really cool. Arcade port Time Soldiers. Looks pretty cool. I don't know. It's kind of got that Akari Warriors perspective to it. Complete. This one was on Nintendo and the Sega. It's fun no matter what system you play it on. Looks like Spuds McKenzie's chasing this kid. You got a Paper Boy. The art kind of wraps around on this one. So it's complete. Directions are okay. And the cartridge, for some reason they decided to put all the letters in capital letters. It almost looks like it says Playboy on it. So, anyway, Playboy and Lord of the Sword. That sounds like a gay porno. Alex Kidd in High Tech World. Action game. Duh, it says action on the cover. I don't have a lot of commentary on a lot of these because I really haven't played them, to be honest. A few of these I have played, but none of the ones I've really held up so far. I played some of the Phantasy Star a long time ago, but I never beat it. I played... the only Phantasy Star I've beaten is Phantasy Star 4. Alex Kidd and the Lost Stars. I think there's like 3 or 4 Alex Kidd games and a couple, like, same amount of Wonder Boy games. Different titles. Here's a game called Zillion, which looks like a microwave oven on the front. Evidently trying to be Ethan Hunt and steal some super secret Mission Impossible type data from someplace. Okay, keep it rolling. Here's another art. And this one doesn't say arcade on it, but it was an arcade game as well. Outrun. It kind of looks like Rad Racer on the back. Complete. Outrun was fun at the arcade. I used to go to the King Louis bowling alley with my parents, my stepdad, my mom, because they were on the league, and they'd give me like $2 and I'd blow that in like 10 minutes in the arcade and then stand around for an hour and a half watching other guys play games. And then every once in a while my stepdad might give me another $1. You know, take mercy on a kid. So anyway, Outrun was one of those games. I'll mention one of the other ones when we come up to it. We've got Alien Syndrome. It is complete with a poster and everything. Alien Syndrome. I have played. It's pretty fun. Let's see. Looks like we've got a couple. This one came with the Master System when I bought it or won the eBay auction. Hang On and Safari Hunter or Safari Hunt. Hang On just kind of looks like Mach Rider or something. Safari Hunt's a game gun. So this is like your Mario Duck Hunt cart here for the Sega Master System. I think it came with every Master System, kind of like the Mario. Got a few sports games here. This one's unique, and that's why I bought it, is because it was unique, not because I really care about the sports genre. And that is the game Slapshot, which kind of looks like Blades of Steel on the back. The reason why I bought it, though, is the cartridge label is a different color than any of the ones I've ever seen. It's got a blue label on it. And I thought that was really unique. I got this at the pawn shop. This is the one I knew where I had gotten it. I got this one at the pawn shop. Blue label. I thought it was unique, so we picked it up. Looks like Blades of Steel. Great Football. You may remember I just picked one of these up. Well, it turns out I had 2 other copies, so now I have 3 Great Footballs. Here we go. There we go. Great Football. It's mighty great. Oh, damn. That must have been my $2 copy I dropped. Complete. The other ones are complete as well. They're all 3 of them. It kind of looks like Tecmo Bowl on the back. I don't know how close I can get into the camera with these. But, yeah. So far I've shown you doubles on F-16 Fighting Falcon and Great Football, if anybody's interested. Great Baseball. This one kind of looks like bases loaded. That perspective from behind the pitcher. Complete baseball game. Here's another dual cart. This one is, both of them are gun games, and that would be marksman shooting, trap shooting. Looks like the clay pigeons, and then kind of a Hogan's Alley kind of setup. Complete. Yeah, so I don't know. Let's pause for station identification now.
You are watching Sandamtod's channel.
All right, now that that's done, let's carry on. I hope that I don't repeat myself here, because I'm filming this again. And I don't know if I already talked about these. So hopefully I didn't talk about these. If I repeat myself or you see a repeat, I'm sorry. Had a little, I've just had nothing but difficulty with this movie. Take 5. Okay. We have Missile Defense 3D. This was from Vintage Stock. It was $2 because it still had the price sticker on it before I peeled it off. It's complete. I don't really know what it's about. Wonder Boy in Monsterland. I don't know if I showed this or not. I may have already. If I didn't. Wonder Boy in Monsterland. Complete. Alright. Action Fighter. Looks like Spy Hunter on the back. Cart only. It's missing the directions. Not sure where it came from. This one I ordered off eBay. This one is another one of those at the King Louis arcade. The arcade game is just awesome, but the home port wasn't bad, and that would be Shinobi. It is complete, except Patrick and Brad decided to write in the instructions their name, cool dudes on the cover. Evidently they were talking about themselves. They wrote yes and no all over the place on the instructions. And when they got bored of playing Shinobi, they decided to play some tic-tac-toe on the back of the instructions. So, awesome, guys. Thanks. Well, I guess it was yours first, Sue. You've always said you can do whatever you want to with it when it's yours. I guess I just, when I ordered it, didn't really care at the time about the instructions. I think that was early on when I wasn't really as concerned about quality. I probably was just happy it was complete. We've got about 15 more games here. Monopoly, battery backup, complete. The instructions are under this damn poster, which is in like every single one of these. Monopoly, not Monopoly on the card. Space Harrier. This is the other, one of the games my cousin did have. Space Harrier is kind of a rail shooter. You're this guy with a backpack, and you can basically fly all over the screen, and you just shoot, and try to blow guys up. Space Harrier's fun. I don't know. I think they made this for the Genesis as well, but I don't recall offhand. I remember playing it at the arcade. Rambo First Blood Part 2. This one looks like Ikari Warriors. It's 2-player co-op. And complete. Another one of them damn posters. Here's another Stallone. For some reason, I have 3 different Stallone games. We've got Rocky. This was the final game that my cousin had. They had the Hang On and Safari Hunt, and they had Space Harrier and Rocky. I never saw it. My cousin get past Clubber Lang. The Nerd did a video on this, Angry Video Game Nerd. He said it's almost impossible once you beat Apollo to beat Clubber because of the way the fight mechanics work, and I played it and I believe him because it's not that great. Here's another arcade game. Afterburner. Afterburner, I think, was released by Tengen on the Nintendo eventually. I think it was a black, maybe only a black cart version. They might have did gray cart version. Afterburner. Here's the other Stallone game, Rambo 3. This one kind of looks like Operation Wolf, the gun game, and this one is a gun game, more or less. It looks like you can use, I don't know if you can only use the gun. It says use the gun, so I don't know if it only works with the gun and not the controller. Maybe. Here's another gun game, Shooting Gallery. It's just another, shoot at stuff on the screen kind of deal. Complete. The aptly named and same title name as the Nintendo one, Pro Wrestling. Although these characters look a little more like the muscle wrestling with the big heads and kind of the small bodies and stuff. It looks like tag team wrestling too. Go for the title, Mexican League, Pacific League, or World League. Yeah. Pro Wrestling. This one came with the Master System when I won the auction. That would be Grand Prix, RC Grand Prix. It looks cooler than it kind of is. I thought it was going to be more like a RC Pro-Am. That one has a white label. It's not really the same as RC Pro-Am. The tracks are a lot harder to control your car on, and it's not as fun because it's not as fluid. Enduro Racer. This one looks like the art is weird. It's real dark. I don't know why, and I think it's missing the directions. Yeah, it's missing the directions. Pretty sure that came from vintage stock. So I don't know if somebody printed off case artwork and put it in the thing or what. This is the only game I have that uses those 3D glasses that came out for the Master System, and I don't own those. Zach's on 3D. I think you can play it without them. 3 more games. This one's exciting. Global Defense. I don't really know how it plays or what it's really about. Complete with another one of those posters. Ghostbusters. This came out of Duder's booth. You've probably seen the Angry Video Game Nerd video on Ghostbusters. I think he talked about the Ghostbusters on the NES and the Master System, and maybe on the Genesis as well. I don't really recall. The Genesis game is really fun. From what I remember, the Master System and the Nintendo ones were pretty hard to play. And then the final game we have is two-player co-op, an arcade classic, and this was another one at the King Louis that I wasted money on, and that would be Double Dragon. I don't know if this one was faithful exactly to the arcade or not, and I don't remember, but something makes me think it was harder. It was harder than hell to play at home, but it was easier at the arcade. So anyway, that's kind of what I have. I do have some doubles. I'll just list them in the description below, and if you're interested in any of them, you could hit me up. Basically, it's just I've got Global Defense complete. The case needs a little cleaning. I've got one of these card F-16 Fighting Falcons. I've got an extra one. I might be interested in getting rid of if something came along that piqued my interest. Of course, we've got two great footballs complete. I've got an extra Rocky with no instructions, and the case art looks a little orangey. I don't know why. Rambo First Blood Part 2. I also have a complete second copy. The instructions look a little bit yellow on the front. Rambo 3. This is actually a pretty good copy, but like I said, I don't know if you need the gun game or the gun. And then finally, we have another copy of Alien Syndrome. Complete. So those are the ones that I have that are extra, and I'll list them below. If anybody was interested or is looking for some of those games, I might be interested in trading with you or something if you want to. Or maybe we can do something. So anyway, I'm going to sign off. This is literally the 5th time I filmed this, and I'm hoping that it's running right now because I can't tell. So I'm going to sign off. Thanks for coming by. I'll try to be in a better mood next video. I feel like I was kind of just pissy this whole video, even though it's broken into 2 pieces from 2 different filmings, because this video has just been a bear. It's been a cursed video from start to finish. So thanks for coming by, folks. See you next video, and enjoy your gaming. Master System is a fun little system. I don't know how many games it actually had in the collection, but something makes me think it only had 150 or less titles. So we've got about a third of them, it looks like, if that's the case, and I don't know for sure. I'm too lazy to look it up right now. So anyway, bye. See you later. Thanks for coming by.